You know, we have reached a point where getting in shape is more like a medical procedure than a lifestyle. But do you really want your biggest achievement, your health, your confidence, to come from some ad you saw from your favorite celebrity? The thing is, I don't blame you. I blame the media. Media made it sound like that science could shortcut the grind.
Who's gonna carry the boat?
And believe me, I thought about it too. But then I was like, is that really what I want to tell my son when he grows up? Hero, my son, your dad didn't carry the logs. I carried the subscription to get fit. I'm sorry that I'm telling you this now. And whatever happened to those celebrities where they were preaching body positivity right before their Ozempic package arrived? Huh? But jokes aside, let's get serious. I've got something for you that's gonna make you very proud when you look at yourself in the mirror. Because it's not a shortcut, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that I followed for a year, and it helped me to lose my belly fat to go from looking like this to this. And in this video, I'm gonna break it all down for you. Let's get to it. This video is sponsored by System LS, and I'll tell you more about them later in this video.
If you could lose size and fat in any part of your body, where would it be?
Around my belly, of course.
My belly.
This.
Here's the problem. Everybody promises that there's that one fix for belly fat.
What is this belly fat reducing miracle? The Tummy Tuck Slimming System.
Now, I've never tried those pills or those fat loss injections, but I have tried almost everything.
Shivering causes the brown fat to increase your burn rate and your metabolism.
And next week somebody comes and debunks it and says the exact opposite.
Everyone's doing it. Your favorite podcaster, they're doing it, and they're likely taking a video of it to let you know that they're doing it.
That's right.
There's other studies showing that cold water increases food intake significantly.
So we end up trying every dumb trick, and what happens is that confusion wins, and we go back to eating nachos like texting that old toxic relationship. But here's the truth. Fat loss is not a pill or a hack or that one magic trick. Fat loss, in my opinion, it is 5 switches: nutrition, lifting, cardio, sleep, and testosterone. Flip the right one and that belly moves. I've tested all of them. Some matter a little and some matter a lot more. At the end, I'm gonna reveal which switches have the biggest weight, and you know exactly which ones you've been missing. No more confusion, no more hacks, just the 5 things that actually work. My friend, if you're after 40 and your morning exercises grab your belly and sigh, we need to talk. Now, I'm not asking you to turn into a bodybuilder overnight, but let me drop a fact on you. From your 40s on, your strength and muscle drops faster than your Wi-Fi signal as soon as you step outside your apartment.
Oh, come on.
When you think about it, this kind of matters more than fat loss, no? Because strength is like everything, you know, it keeps us functional, it keeps us from face planting down in the bathroom when we're older. Now you might be asking, how does this help with fat loss, Sean? Well,
Movement of muscle is metabolically expensive, which is why people who have more muscle, they can eat more and they're more of a furnace. They just kind of burn that up.
so in plain English, muscle burns energy, even when you're sitting still. More muscle means higher calorie burn, better insulin sensitivity, and a metabolism that works for you instead of against you. Now, I know that there's 2 types of guys watching this. You have never lifted before. For you, mission 1 is simple. Learn the simple lifts: squat, push, pull, and hang. You might feel awkward for the first few weeks, but stick to it, my friend, and you start craving it. Give it 6 months, you feel much stronger, you feel much better about yourself, and you'll start to see that stubborn belly fat of yours has been hit in the face with an eviction letter with a short notice. And then there's you. You've lifted before. You know the moves, but that belly has still been hanging around. What seems to be the problem? Well, the good news is you've done the hard work, but we're gonna have to put you back in the lab. Increase your intensity. You're gonna show up at the gym more often. And to burn the most amount of fat fast, we're gonna mix your strength training with what I'm about to tell you in the next switch. So stay tuned. Are you lifting 3 to 4 days a week and actually challenging yourself? If yes, my friend, go ahead and flip the lifting switch on. All right, let's talk cardio for fat loss. And I know what you've been told.
Making sure you're doing the high intensity interval training and not steady state cardio, that's going to allow you to burn the most calories. And if you're taking the fat burner burn, then you're gonna burn calories all day long.
All right, that's all noise. And here's the reality. We're older now. Our joints don't love burpees and our backs don't love jumping boxes. And the fatigue those exercises put on our body. The single best cardio for fat loss isn't HIIT. It's zone 2.
It is the exercise intensity at the one you are stressing mitochondria and oxidative capacity to the most. This is where you are mobilizing the highest amount of fat. This is where you burn both the fat inside a mitochondria as well as the glucose.
And lucky for us old guys is, doesn't even look like running.
The best way to get zone 2 cardio to simply increase the amount of walking, and in particular walking at a rapid pace that one does, and to increase the total amount of movement that one's getting throughout the week. So taking groceries in and out of the grocery store, running around with the kids.
And the magic number, it's 200 minutes per week. That's it. You don't need to destroy yourself. Just stack the minutes day after day, and your body learns to burn fat like fuel. Now, if you really want to maximize that fat loss, pair zone 2 right after your strength training. This way your muscles preserve and you burn the fat. That is your golden combo. So are you hitting the 200 minutes of zone 2 every week? If yes, go ahead and flip that switch on.
Gain or loss of actual body fat tissue will depend on energy balance.
I know you've heard me say this 100 times, but it is the signal. Protein. Protein. We want that protein in.
Gain protein.
Now, I'm not saying that there's this one diet that's the best diet that works for everybody. I'm not telling you to be a carnivore or get on a vegan diet or be keto. You can do whatever that works best for you because we all have different body types. But the fact is, protein from meat has been scientifically proved that it's best for muscle and recovery.
If you're getting a reasonable amount of your protein from plants, you're getting a lower bioavailable amino acid. You're also not getting the same quantity of leucine, lysine, and methionine, which are probably the 3 most important amino acids anyway.
What about processed food? If you're on a fat loss phase, completely cut it out. But if you're on maintenance mode, you can go back to it from time to time, but you're gonna feel like crap after you eat it because you've been eating healthy all this time. Can we eat fruits on a diet? Yes, chew it, but don't drink it because juice is just soda with better PR. Because on a fat loss phase, or generally speaking, we don't want to spike that insulin. So no protein shakes with banana because that's going to boost it up. Replace it with an avocado.
Is a caloric deficit important?
Yes, 100%. Losing fat comes down to a caloric deficit. But here's the trick. When we build our meals around protein, what happens is,
if we eat the proper amino acids at the proper levels, if we ingest omega-3s and CLAs, conjugated linoleic acids, at the proper levels, or get them from supplements, there's a blunting of appetite.
So this way you are full longer, your cravings drops, and you're naturally in a sustainable caloric deficit, my friend. Look, I can sit here all day and tell you to eat protein, don't drink your juice, and do this and all that, but at the end of the day, you gotta eat something, right? So I have prepared recipes, full breakdown recipes in the links in the description. Go check it out before you go out and do your grocery shopping. So are you hitting protein daily, keeping meals unprocessed, and chewing your food instead of drinking it? If yes, flip that nutrition switch. Let's move on.
Now let's talk about the sponsor of this video, System LS.
I spent the last year being super mindful about what I put in my body. No processed junk and no artificial fillers. So if I was ever gonna partner with a brand, it had to align with that. And this checks all the boxes.
System LS Whey Protein Concentrate. Clean ingredients, probiotics for gut health, and 5 grams of fiber per serving. Which if you eat high protein like me and don't enjoy eating greens,
just what I needed.
This is for you.
And if you want a protein that supports gut health, use the link in the description with a discount code SEANALAMI to get 10% off all of System LS wonderful products. All right, now let's get back to the video. Let's talk sleep. No, sleep doesn't burn fat, but bad sleep makes fat loss way harder. You cut your sleep and your appetite and hormones dump. Fullness goes down and cravings go up. Your brain turns into a drunk supermarket shopper. Here's one killer receipt for you. In a randomized study, 2 different groups of people ate the same amount of calories. But the first group slept about 5.5 hours and the second group slept about 8.5 hours. This group right here lost way less fat than this group right here. Fat loss cut in half. So let me correct myself earlier when I said sleep doesn't burn fat. Yes, it does. Here is the fix, thanks to Dr. Andrew Huberman. He says that our bodies have a clock. And ever since I heard that, I've been able to fix it. Here's how.
And inside all of us is a clock that exists in your brain and my brain and the brain of every animal that we're aware of that determines when we want to be sleepy and when we want to be awake. That block of sleep and when it falls within each 24-hour cycle is governed by a number of different things. But the most powerful thing that's governing when you want to be asleep and when you want to be awake is light.
In the morning, sunlight hits your eyes and tells your brain, time to wake up, release cortisol, and burn fuel. That same signal starts a countdown timer for melatonin, your sleep hormone that kicks in about 14 to 16 hours later. Morning rule: get blasted by daylight outside, 5 to 10 minutes. No sunglasses if you can help it. That's your brain's on switch. Wake up, burn fuel, act human. Night rule: after 8 p.m., start dimming. And between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m., do not stadium light your eyeballs. That's when your brain wants darkness.
Leave a sliver of curtain so morning light hits. So last week, did you average a 7 to 8 hours of sleep? If yes, you know what to do. Now in this segment, I'm gonna say something that's gonna make some of you do this. I've talked about this on this channel before. I've been on doctor-managed testosterone replacement therapy for the past 18 months. That's right, I said it. Are you still here, or did you run away? You can run away and stay in the dark, or you can stay here and get educated about this topic. Before I started, my testosterone levels were around 300 nanograms per deciliter, and it peaked to near 800 at times. I microdose and I check my blood every 3 months. And if you're still watching, for those of you who don't know, testosterone replacement therapy, known as TRT, restores your normal range of testosterone. And if you abuse it, it becomes anabolic cycles. Now, does testosterone matter for fat loss after 40? Absolutely.
There's 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago or maybe a year ago, very good study came out that looked at pre-diabetic men and looking at insulin resistance and glucose disposal with and without testosterone. And the evidence was overwhelmingly clear. Testosterone improves glycemic control. Testosterone improves insulin signaling. This shouldn't be surprising, by the way, given the role muscles play as a glucose reservoir and a glucose sink.
And studies show that testosterone does help with lean mass and fat loss modesty. But the scale and waistline still obeys nutrition, your exercise, and your sleep. So if you reach 40, I absolutely recommend for you to get your testosterone levels tested to have an idea. Your testosterone levels and your free testosterone.
A total testosterone of 900 nanograms per deciliter, which would place them at, depending on the scale you look at. The scale we look at, that would place you at about the 70th percentile. But your free testosterone is, 8 nanograms per deciliter. So that's pretty bad. That means you're less than 1% free. A guy should be about 2% free T.
If you do get your results back in and you're under 500, do I recommend for you to jump on TRT? No, I recommend for you to flip the 4 switches that we talked about: nutrition, lifting, cardio, sleep. Doing those usually boosts your T naturally, and in most cases it moves the needle for at least the next 4 or 5 years. And if you've done all that and you're still in the lower range, that is absolutely your call and your doctor's call if you want to get on TRT. So yes, testosterone does play a factor, but it's not the whole picture. All right, moment of truth. How many switches did you turn on today? 1, 3, all 5? If it's 0, pick 1, start today. If it's 3, make it 4 this week. If it's 5, keep them on because that belly fat is leaving you and it's shrinking fast. This isn't luck, it's levelers. You pull it, it moves. I'll bring the plan, you bring the reps. Let's do this together. Now, if you want the science behind why this works, the whole noise versus signal on fat loss, click the video right up here because I got the receipts, the why, the how. Go get educated and come back here and keep flipping. See you on the next one.